This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. I don't know who coined the phrase that cruelty is the point. I believe it was Adam Serwer who wrote a piece for The Atlantic a few years ago. And as quotes go that apply to the current morass in which we live, that's pretty spot on. It's pretty poignant. It's pretty repeatable. And I like to repeat it. I also want to give credit where credit is due. I think he originated that particular saying, that cruelty is the point with Republicans, with conservatives, certainly with MAGA world, certainly with this crop of presidential candidates who are attempting to model their behavior after Donald Trump's. They've witnessed the success that Donald Trump has enjoyed as a political candidate by screaming invectives, by being as cruel as possible, by putting forward policies that will punch down, that will deliver blows on an already oppressed population set or sets in our country, whether that be LGBTQ, whether that be religious minorities, whether that be the poor, whether that be the marginalized in general. And no one is doing it better than maybe Ron DeSantis. I mean, listen, Ron DeSantis was the guy who had the TRUMP, or Make America Great Again, to his baby in a campaign ad. He very much wants to model himself after Trump. He wants to repeat the success that Trump somehow found in 2016. So when he sees Donald Trump say that we should just assassinate members of the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, that we should have cops on a hunch just summarily execute shoplifters or suspected shoplifters. They don't know if they have a receipt. They just, let's kill them. Let's kill them because law and order, says the man who has 91 charges across 4 indictments. Ron DeSantis is here for that, and he's repeating that. He was on Face the Nation this weekend, and he was asked about a comment he made about having military or armed federal agents kill people crossing the border for the crime of wearing a backpack. No intelligence. He'll say it in the clip that, oh yeah, the intelligence and all that stuff that you do, yada, yada, yada. But how do you know what is contained inside of a backpack? You don't. So he wants to create an international incident, shooting and murdering and killing extrajudicially, extra-constitutionally, someone for wearing a backpack.
In the past have said you would authorize the U.S. military to go to the U.S. border and shoot cartel members. You told my colleague Norah O'Donnell, quote, "When somebody's got a backpack on and they're breaking through the wall, you know that's hostile intent and you have every right to take action under those circumstances." Can you explain how that would work? Would a soldier have to ask his commanding officer for permission before he shoots anyone wearing a backpack, or is this just a blanket shoot anyone with a backpack?
Well, first, cartels are invading this country and they are killing tens of thousands of our fellow citizens with fentanyl. And this is happening in communities all across our country. We have every right and duty to fight back against that. It's typical how you would have with law enforcement or military. You define rules of engagement. They positively identify somebody that's hostile, either action or intent, and they engage. But we are going to engage. The days of our communities being ravaged by fentanyl are going to be over. Yes, we're going to stop the invasion. Yes, we're going to build the wall. We're going to do all those things. We'll deport people when they come illegally, but you have to hold the cartels accountable, and I'll do that as Commander-in-Chief.
Well, I think a lot of Americans would support that, given how terrible fentanyl is. But in terms of the specific proposal here, how would you differentiate who's a threat? How would you say shoot people wearing backpacks?
Well, Margaret, when you're down at the border, I mean, you see, like, the cartels will actually have lookouts where they'll just bring people across. They will have, yes, they will be carrying
how do you know what's in the backpack?
Different types of. Well, you have to make those judgments based on intelligence and all the other things that you do. But I can tell you this, once you show the willingness to actually take this threat seriously, you are going to change their behavior. They're eating our lunch at the border right now because we don't do anything to fight back. That's going to change on January 20th, 2025.
Lucky for us, little Ronnie boy, January 20th, 2025 will not see you inaugurated as president of the United States. And largely because of things like this. In this country, we celebrate the presumption of innocence. Do we not? Doesn't your golden god, your demigod Donald Trump, want that for himself? The presumption of innocence? Especially when you're talking about a capital crime. And if you're going to kill someone at the border without detaining them and asking them questions, you're just going to, oh, he's got a backpack, kill him. That flies in the face of the presumption of innocence. Does Ron DeSantis expect that these immigrants who are coming here to build a better life for themselves, many of them refugees who have legal cause to cross the border and be here, does he expect them to carry like Samsonite rolling suitcases like they're at the airport? What is sinister in the mind of Ron DeSantis about someone wearing a backpack? I live in Washington, D.C., scores of tourists everywhere, many of them wearing backpacks. I don't, in my mind, automatically think, they're up to something. They're up to something. They got a backpack on. Oh. A crime must be in progress. Because it's nonsense. If someone is traveling hundreds, if not thousands of miles to get to their intended destination across rugged terrain, wouldn't you think they'd wear a backpack like hundreds of hikers do, thousands of hikers do every day? Look, fentanyl is absolutely an insidious problem that we're dealing with in this country. We need to be more aggressive about it. We need to be more aggressive about not just stopping it at its source, but also the ravages in communities all across the country. Policies that Ron DeSantis does not support. We'll make that judgment based on intel and all of the other things that you do. Like I said, that's the yada, yada, yada part here. That's the brushing over all of the devil in the details. Cruelty is the point. This is cruelty for cruelty's sake because he knows it appeals to MAGA world. That the most aggressive, murderous policy, whether that be they're not bringing their best, they're rapists. Sometimes, I assume there's some good people, Donald Trump said, much to Ron DeSantis' delight. The Muslim ban. We have to stop all people of this particular religion from coming into the country until we figure out what in the hell is going on. Cruelty is the point. Cruelty for cruelty's sake is a Republican mantra. The grand old party of absolute assholes. Anyway, I would love to know what your thoughts are on this. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Please keep the voicemails brief, but you can email me as much as you want at daily@dollemore.com. If I am someone you appreciate, if I bring you value on a day-to-day basis, please consider supporting my work. Click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month, hit the super thanks button, or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Independent media is very important right now, maybe more important than ever, and you can help support if I'm your guy. If not, go support somebody else. Absolutely, it's that important. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, all of them. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.